welcome back to Wicked Art. It's Wicked here. It's time for our Monday art lesson. So what I'm going to do today is we're going to show you how to set up your characters' faces to help you in the future. That way you don't have to constantly redraw from scratch. You can have references from different angles, things like that. Okay, so I'm going to kind of be showing you how to draw heads, but not just that, just from different varying angles and stuff like that. So we're going to be using a character from my graphic novel I'm working on called Chronicles and Andromeda. I'll let y'all know a little bit more about that at a different time, but we're going to be drawing one of the main characters, Rena. So basically what you want to do is you just want to kind of get enough heads with different facial expressions and things in them. And so like I said, if you wanted to bring them in digitally or just redraw them on paper, you don't have to worry so much about how the head's going to look. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with just a normal face, face in the front. So I'm just going to start with a circle here to at least get the skull set up. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is usually from right here at the edge of the circle, you can start drawing in the shape of your head here. Okay, so then once I get to a certain area, I don't really want to do like an anime style head, so I want to kind of give them a chin down here at the bottom. Okay, so now that I got the basis of my head set up, I can start. What I usually like to do is I just erase out this bottom part of the circle just so I have a better understanding of where things are. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to draw a line down the center. Okay, and then this next line is just as important as any. I'm just going to put in my line up here so I know that my eyes will fit up in that region, and then just slightly below that is where your nose goes. So I usually like to start with that just because it's a good midway point. So I usually just start with a line here. I put a little curve in here just to get the shape of the nose in there. Then I like to just come in here and add the nostrils in there. Just for now, be like almost kind of like a button nose, and that's just in there that way. The next thing I want to do is kind of just establish the lips. So you always want to kind of start with that center line. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that in. We're just going to make a normal straight face to start with. Okay, so I just have that for the lips there, and then what I can do is just come down here and draw my lips there. And then what I usually like to do with my female characters is I usually give them the upper lip. Males I tend not to so much, just depends on the situation. Usually if they're like an older gentleman or whatever, I usually tend to do that. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to establish my eyes. So sometimes I like to come in and put like a little reference for the nose, bridge line that goes up, just so I know how far up to the eyebrows we're going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in some eyes here. Okay. Just kind of do it that way, just kind of meet them in the middle. And remember, this doesn't have to be like super detailed. We're just trying to establish where everything is. So like pupils and stuff like that, I'm not concerned about at this moment. I'm just worried about putting in the shapes that I need. Okay, so like little things like if I wanted to have her eyelashes more pronounced and things like that, I would do that more in the final drawings, like when I actually transfer them over. To whatever it is, the situation is that I'm putting her in. But yeah, so you can see I kind of made that eye a little bit smaller than what it should be. So I'm just going to arch that up just a little bit more. Okay, get this bottom one in. Okay, so now that I have that established, I can come in here and I can put in my eyebrows. Now, just depending on your character, me personally, I think I give my characters a little bit more thickness to their eyebrows, but you can draw yours however you want to. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and get my other one over here, and they don't have to be, perfectly even. One of them's going to be a little off or whatever, but I mean, that's just, it makes it look more natural, because that's how humans are in real life. Nothing's 100% symmetrical. We're more asymmetrical when it comes to anything else. Okay, so what I can do is I can come in, if you want to, you can actually just leave it there, because you'll just be redrawing the thing on a different medium, however you plan on doing that. But I'm just going to get rid of that line. It's in the center. Okay, now another thing I can do is add in the little lines, things like this for the eyelid. You don't have to do that, because honestly you can just, again, you can save that for your final result of whatever it is you're trying to do. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to just establish the ears. Okay, so I'll put one in over here, have this little arch in, and again, you can draw your ears however you want, but like I said, what this will do is just help us keep a foundation for whatever we're doing. Okay, now Rena is, this graphic novel kind of has like a steampunk kind of feel to it. But she has goggles on her head. So what I'm going to do is just draw this arch across the forehead that leads behind the ears. Okay, I also have a little bit of her hair that comes out from underneath those goggles. Okay, so I have that. Now if you wanted to, you can erase out that line. Again, you don't have to, because you would just do that in your final image. But I'm just going to go ahead and do that since it doesn't take that long. Okay, so next thing I want to establish is the rest of the goggles, going over the top of the head. So that's that top band. Okay, so once I have that, I'm going to clean up inside the band a little bit. Okay, and then I can come in here. I can draw the goggles on the head here. And again, if needed, you can adjust the size of those later. Okay, and then those would of course wrap down the head, and I'd have another pair or another part for covering the eyes right over here. they could be bigger, they could be smaller. The point is establishing the face first, and then you can go in and make your adjustments later when you actually bring the character in. To what it is you're doing. Okay, so like I can tell this is a little bit smaller. It's okay. I'm just going to use that as a reference point. Okay. Then what I usually have is she kind of has her hair braided back in rows. So I'm just going to put these kind of little humps on there. And again, remember, this is my style and my take on it. There are different ways to draw the hair. I like to use a more simplistic method for that. Okay, so I have that. And then what I'll do is I'll just kind of go through and just kind of darken up and refine different areas of the face just so it stands out more. And then I'll come out here. Now the way I'm going to draw her hair, so she kind of has her hair pulled back after the braid, I just kind of put these like see how I'm shaking my hand? I kind of do that so it looks like more of a natural, stand out from the hair. So like I want to space it out. I don't want too many like jump ups in one spot. And then again, that can be adjusted at any point in time. I'm just going to kind of go over it again just so you guys can see it better. Okay, so if I ever just needed like just a straightforward, base face, I can come back to this. And I can use this for whatever I need to use it for. So it's okay to keep it kind of loose and sketchy, if you wanted to, just to help you out when it comes time to put them in so you know where to connect it from. You can put a neck on there, and then that establishes that way. Okay, so next thing you want to do is you want to kind of pick like a different angle. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start off with my circle. Just kind of sketch that in. Okay, now when we're drawing a face at a 3/4 angle, what I usually like to do is I like to go ahead and just run that off the front of the head and bring my line down. And I usually make it longer than it actually needs to be. Okay, and then over here on the side of my face, you have this region like right in here. So you can make like a little light circle here. And that's where you would come off the face there. And kind of round that down. So that'd be about the center of the face. You can kind of go past it a little bit. Doesn't have to be, again, perfect. We just kind of make adjustments with it. Okay, and then kind of like where the chin goes here, I'm going to bend it out some. Like that. Bring that out. So the one thing you want to try to avoid is you don't want to bring it in. Again, I'm trying to avoid it looking like an anime face, so I don't want to like sharpen it in. So I want to kind of round it and bounce it back out. To look a little bit more like that. So I'm going to bring this down into the chin. I'll bring the chin out just a little bit more. Okay. So now I have a baseline set up. You may be wondering why I don't just keep that line in there. Well, it's because I need to adjust it now that I've got the chin where I want the chin to be. So I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to curve up back into the head that way. Okay. And then what I can do is, again, I want to establish my line going across. We're going to do that nice and light right in there. Okay, so instead of just drawing another face, I'm now going to come in and do the same character, but from a different angle. Okay, so like I said, this will help you in the future if you like drawing your own comics or whatever, and you want to, you know, make sure that you get every possible angle that you can think of. Okay, so I have my nose in there established. I'm going to kind of bring this down just a little bit. Okay, and again, it just depends on how you're drawing your character and what they look like. Alright, I'm going to have a little bit of a bridge right there for the eye. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw in my eye shape right over here. Okay, I'm going to come underneath that and bring that over. Okay, now you do want to keep some sort of consistency. You don't want to just kind of draw the eye shapes however. Again, it just depends on what you're trying to achieve. Maybe they got a messed up eye on the other one and you have to change that a little bit. But I'm just going to draw that in that way. Okay, I'm going to come over to this side and we're going to bring this up and over this way. I have to bring that up just a little bit more. Okay, and now what I can do is I can come in here, and what we can do is we can give her a different facial expression, right? It doesn't have to be the same as the one that you did. Okay, and then you just come to the top, kind of have our face here, so it's going to be looking a little bit more serious or sad or whatever. It really just depends what you do with the eyebrows at this point. But what I am going to do is, if my lips are that close to my chin, what I like to do is just adjust it so it's not touching and just bring it out more that way. Okay, so here's where we get to the important part where I was talking about the eyebrow. Okay, so we can take it and shape it in a way that kind of feeds the expression, right? So I can come out here and let's take it and go this way. More of a bewildered look. Now that I'm looking, the way I drew the eyes, what we could do is we could kind of furrow it down and just give her more of a serious look. Okay, same thing here. And you only take it as far as you can see it, right? So it's only going to go to the side of the head, that much over there. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to establish the ears. So if we come across the head, we should be able to see it about right here. Okay, I'm just going to clean up inside. again, just drawing the ears and stuff in my style. You can draw the ears with as much or as little detail as you want. Okay, but the reason why I need to set up the ears first is I'm going to draw in a little bit of the sideburn of the hair. Again, can go back and add as little or as less detail as I want. I'm going to draw this over top and then add in that hair that comes out. Okay, and then I can come in on that side, and we have a little bit that's going to be poking out. Over here. Okay, so again, I'm just going to take my eraser, I'm going to clean up inside of all that just so it stands out a little bit more. Again, doesn't have to be perfectly erased or gone, just enough that we can see it. Okay, so I have my hair set up, eyebrows, foreheads all drawn in. I can take my part here, because their jawline actually comes right off the edge of the ear, so I can come in and kind of round that a little bit more there. Okay, I can come from behind the ear, take the rest of my goggles over that way. Okay, so now again, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to draw first goggle on this side. So things you have to keep in mind is the angle that we're looking. Right, so it's going to be a little bit bigger on this side than it is on the other. Okay. And then in here on this side, we would have a different angle, and that would just be coming down there. So again, just drawing the shape, and it doesn't have to be perfect, it's something you can adjust later. Okay, so I have that connection piece there. Alright, now when I'm coming out down here, the back of the head, I'm going to start drawing her rows back here. Make sure I keep them somewhat even. I don't want them to like shoot, you know, way out from the head. So like right there, I'm taking it a little too far. But regardless, it's whatever your character has. Try to keep it consistent. Okay, so again, you're just trying to draw your character that you've come up with and keep it consistent in different views. Now I can use this little bit of line left here, right? I'm going to take that down that way. And draw my neck in there. Okay, then I can come here on the back of the neck here and do that same ordeal with the hair. And we want that to kind of come off the forehead there. Okay, so let's darken that up a little bit more so you can see it, but they're literally just jagged lines. Okay, just gives the impression of the hair, right? So we got one from the front, one from the side. Another one you want to probably set up would be a profile view, which it is one of the hardest heads to draw if you're out of practice or you haven't done it in a while. It's one of the harder things to get down. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll do one of those right now. Okay, so I have my circle established. So what I want to do is, just depending, left or right, it doesn't matter. So we're just going to make her face to the left side of the screen here. Okay, so I'm just going to bring this down. Just like that. Again, I can have my imaginary line for the ears so that I know where my jawline is going to come off at. Okay, and obviously we can make adjustments later to sizes and length, right? So about right here in this area where the circle connects to this part of the face, that's going to be about where our eyes are going to be at. So what I want to do is I want to come off and just go ahead and just establish a nose shape. Okay, and then we have this kind of like a curve in, curve out with the forehead. So we're just going to take this out that way, like that. And then I can go ahead and establish my eyebrow. Now you can again make it whatever shape that you want to make it. Okay, now the key to drawing eyes from a profile view is think of it like a greater than, less than symbol. Okay, so you want to kind of establish a shape like that. Okay, and then I can come in and just round the edge and get my eye in that way. Okay, and then another thing we can do is I'm now going to clean up around this area just so you can see it better. And again, when you're sketching images, you don't have to erase anything. You can just keep them, as it is. But what I am going to do is, like, once we establish that kind of eyelash shape here, and we have all that in, I can now come in and add those eyelid shapes to it. Might be a bit too big. Okay, so, and I still struggle from time to time with profile views. That's why I like doing this, because once I find a head that I like, I'll keep that so I can use that later. It's the whole point of this exercise. Okay, so again, I'm going to come in and I'm going to establish my ear. Okay, so it'll be more from the side. Get whatever shapes I need in there. Okay, so now I can run off the bottom of the ear here. Build up my hair. Now from here on the nose, I can put that nostril in. Again, just depending on your character's face type. Like, I know I need to adjust her nose, get a little bit more rounded, more like that. Okay, and then when we come down from this part right here, the nostril, we're going to have a slight curve. It might be hard to see, but it's like a little C right here where it's going to connect to the lips. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to give her smile, so I'm just going to establish this little line right here. Okay, and then again I can come out and make the lips. Okay, so it's looking a little wonky, but it's okay, just for the purpose of this video. We're not going to spend too much time fixing and adjusting. Okay. So again, get a little bit of a sideburn in there. Draw out the goggles on there. So just like I said, just so I can, you know, keep the video to a decent length, so that you guys will stay and watch. We're just gonna go ahead and move on, but I can tell you right now, I would definitely fix this region of the head, probably squish it down some more, but we'll leave it as is for now. So like I said, learning to draw a profile view can be challenging at times, so it's good to set these references up once you get it to how you like it, so that you don't have to worry about drawing it out of your head anymore. You'll have yourself a nice little reference in there. Finish. Sorry, made that a little tiny. This is just going to be the edge of the goggles. Have that come down this way. Like that, and then right here where the split is, we can bring the hair out. Okay, so I want to erase that line that's in the middle there. But I can bring that out. Another hair piece right here. And if you wanted to, you could show a slight bit of the hair on the other side, but like I said, I would definitely fix up this region here. It's bugging me and it's very tempting to fix, but like I said, we're just gonna stick with learning. So see, I'm changing the angle on that there. Okay, and then we're gonna take this and make it look like it's kind of wrapped down around that part. Okay, so I'm gonna draw those rows back. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep working those in as I work up. Probably just one more right there. Okay, so again, we have that, so that means that the back of our neck come off this way, and because this area is so big, it's just gonna, you're gonna have to forgive me, it's just gonna look weird. Okay, so we'll just leave it at that as now. Okay, and then come off back of the hair. Probably bring it up to about right here. Okay, probably actually bring it out a little his face, I would redo just to get it right, but again, just comes with practice. Okay. So, other things to do is we want to kind of establish different angles and things like that, right? So, like I could draw in another head shape. Right? And then I can come like up here on the forehead, kind of straighten it out, just so I can bring those cheeks back out again. Okay, same thing. Forehead kind of wraps around, comes down, and I want to establish those cheeks. Okay. So what we'll do, just kind of work in those chin shapes. Alright, so I kind of have my head established a little bit. Okay, again, I can come in and we can draw a line down the center. So if I want to looking up a little bit more, that's where the importance of where your eye goes, so I can kind of round those up like this, so it'll look like they're going to be looking that way. Okay, so same thing here, I can establish my nose. She's looking up a little bit more. Shape like that. Okay, maybe I can maybe give her a look of surprise. So I'm just going to clean up inside that area there. Keep this here, maybe a little bit of the center, just so I can see where that's at. Okay, and the same thing here is I'm just going to draw lip shape. Right, maybe give her some teeth. Nothing detailed, just, you know, set of chompers in there. That in so you can see the mouth is open. Right. Okay, and now when it comes to like a look of surprise, like so still I'm going to establish that bridge coming up from the nose, but our eyes obviously get wider, so I want to kind of open and round it a little bit more. So it'd be a higher arch. Have that like that. So now I at least have my eyes and that bridge right there. Don't really need that anymore. Okay, but I do want to make sure that since the eyes are wider, we're going to see a lot more of the eye. But let's do it this way. We're going to make her look like she is surprised at what she's seeing that's above her head. So we're going to draw the eyes this way. And that's where, like, you know, having a pupil will help establish that too, but for now I'm not focused on pupils or any of that stuff. Okay, so So we're going to come to our other side over here. Fix that. That's really bothering me. Sorry about that. Add a slight curve in there. All I did was just adjust the eyebrow and bring it in a little bit more. Okay. So I have my bridge. I'm going to come over here. We're going to widen our eye out on this side. So let's say you just want to try to keep it the same. Doesn't have to be perfect. Like I said, that stuff can come later in your final adjustment for things. Just kind of looking up. Now this part of our face here, and we want to bring that out and just kind of solidify the face a little bit more. So come down the chin. And again, just different facial expression. So again, we're surprised, so we want to really raise those eyebrows up. Again, this is all just going to help you establish a setup for your character so that everything's in place already, so you don't have to go back to the drawing board every time. Okay, so again, I'm just going to come over here, just going to establish my ears. That side, head slightly turned a little bit, so we will see this partial ear shape on that side over there. Again, just because our eyebrows are raised doesn't mean we have to completely adjust anything else. So we can just put our hair and goggles into the same region. Okay. And that'll be that, and then we can bring that up on the same area. So I'm going to clean up inside my goggle area just so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so that's going around, and we're going to put a goggle here. Again, can make adjustments to size and stuff later. It's not important right now. We are just establishing character head position. Okay. So we got one there. Got another one right over here. Okay. Trying to keep that balance. With these hair rows, just so that it doesn't seem too off. Okay. Now that I have that, I can come in here, we can establish our neck. Right. that's another one there. Another thing that we could do is, and again, this is just, it's just bothering me. Well, like I said, the thing with my channel is moving on, learning from the mistakes, blah blah. But basically, all this would just shift up. So this is bad, but I would just redo. Something else we could do is something more when they're looking down, right? So I can come in here, draw me another circle shape. Okay, so when we have stuff that's looking down, what we want to do, and again, this will work either way, whether it's a profile, 3/4, it doesn't matter, but we're just going to do one that's just straight down. Okay, so what I want to do is establish a line down the middle first. Okay, I'm going to come off the side of my head, and we're going to really angle down the shape in there. Just want to make sure that it looks like it's looking down. So the way we have this established, we can actually keep this now. We don't have to get rid of that. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is obviously I'm going to bring in my nose. But from this top angle here, I'm not going to put too much detail on the nostril. Could put that a little bit too close. Okay, I'm just going to really focus on this main shape here, and right over here, and then I can still kind of put a bridge, but it's going to be shorter, right? Just right in there. Okay. So next thing I want to do is make sure I get a semblance of a mouth. So again, if they're looking down, they're kind of sad or whatever. So see how I'm going to have to adjust and shift down. So I'm going to put a little bottom lip here. And top lip there. Okay, and then right close to it, right at the bottom, I want to have that chin. Okay. Maybe bring it out just a little bit more. Okay. Now I have the head looking more like it's looking down. So if I wanted to, and our eyes are that way, right? So what I can do is just use that area to establish a set of eyelashes. Okay, and this will give that illusion that the eyes are closed. Okay, I can do the same thing on the other side. Just like that. Now this one's a little long, so we're going to cut it back just a little bit. But same general premise. Okay, so it looks like we're down. So if I want to keep that look or frown, I really want to turn the eyebrows downward. Okay, same thing over here. Still just feel like I'm making that too long, but either way, let's clean up inside the face a little bit. Okay, so we have that facing down. Our ears, they're going to get a little bit of a downward treatment here. So we want to kind of make our lines angle a little bit. going downward. Okay, so once I have that in there, I can switch to the other side, and we want to kind of do the same thing. Want everything angled downward. Just like that. Okay, so now I can get rid of this little line if you want to, the center of the head. Okay, so now it looks like we're looking down. So now I can take my hair, I can draw that in. Right, and then I can establish turning my goggles up this way. Okay, so now I'm going to see more of my goggles from the top because my head is facing down. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this around. Again, doesn't have to be perfect, just need to get, oops, broke my pencil. Just have to get that shape and that look of the goggle down in there. So I'm going to come to this other side, I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, turn that in. Alright, so I'm going to have more of the top of the goggle here. Just really have that come down back behind the ear like that. Okay, again, I'm going to establish my rows in here. Just like that. Okay, just going to sharpen that up a little bit. And what I can do is we want to kind of run the neck shallower because we're looking down, so it won't be so thick compared to how it was before. Okay, and again, I can come in, I can establish my hair. Right, so that's basically what you would do, and you just keep going through this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw one more from the side, see if we can get this profile down. So it looks pretty awful, so we're going to see if we can get that. But while I'm waiting for that, what I want to say is I noticed that we jumped up to 120 subscribers, which is awesome. I am super excited about that. That means there's more people who are here to learn how to do art. That's great. I'm going to be doing like a little giveaway, so that will be coming soon. So keep your eyes open for that. The only thing I would ask is if you guys like what you're seeing, I really need help because I'm just kind of like I said, just kind of, you know, making stuff up in order to just, you know, have stuff to draw, which I like doing. So I mean, I'll keep doing it if that's what you guys like. But if there are things that you want me to cover in these videos, then you need to leave me a comment. 'Cause YouTube's weird. I'm still trying to kind of figure out YouTube. But like, apparently I can't do things like, you know, leave a poll up for you guys to vote on what you want to see or anything. Apparently you have to have way more subscribers than that, which I don't really care about the subscriber count as much as that you guys are getting some form of an art education and learning how to draw stuff. But it does help me, not run out of ideas. So if you guys could please, leave a comment. Let me know what else you want to learn. I'd be glad to do that. Also, if you're new to the channel and you're just stopping by, or just want to give it a chance, and you like what you're seeing, please, by all means, subscribe, like, share, continue to grow so we can reach a bigger audience, just so I can continue making these videos, which I will regardless. Like I said, it's not that big of a deal. And it'd just be cool to get more students so I can get more ideas for what I'm doing. But I mean, other than that, sorry, I'm really focusing on the lips here. But yeah, like I said, if you like what you're seeing and you want to see a specific thing, leave me a comment. Don't leave me hanging. Let me know what you want to see. That way I can, produce that product for you. If you want to see more realistic looking stuff, let me know. I'll make a video on realism. It doesn't bother me. I can draw realistically if you'd like. And that's not just for these Monday videos. If you want to make a suggestion for anything, whether it's Fun Draw Friday, Tiny Tuesdays, whatever, it doesn't matter. Just let me know. Okay. So as you can see, I'm still adjusting things in the profile. Just see if I can really nail something down here for you. But yeah, what I would say is, for the homework, take either a character that you have made up, okay, you can have made it up, or if there's an established character already, let's say you wanted to do Goku, or some anime, or just whatever comic book character, but you still need to draw it yourself. Don't look up north, south, east, west facing Naruto head, right? You need to still be able to draw it yourself. That's not to say, excuse me, I got the hiccups, you can't pull up a reference, because you can, just to remember or see what they look like, but just don't copy profile heads. You try to do that yourself, establishing the things that we discussed in the video. Okay, so that's going to be your homework, is to come up with either your own character and do these little turnaround views, or just take one that's already established and do it that way. Okay, so I'm working this goggle, which honestly, if it's coming down, it should probably be a little bit higher on the head. Okay. And then we can do the other one coming out this way. Just like that, because we wouldn't see too much more of it. Okay. And again, get my rows, go back. Like I said, all that refinement and stuff would come much later. that's a little short on that side. It looks a little weird. I'll have to fix that. Okay. But anyway, that's pretty much going to do it for today's little art lesson. Like I said, if you like what you're seeing, you want to stick around, please like, subscribe, share. Other than that, I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. And I want you guys to practice this and do the homework. Other than that, until next time, keep on sketching, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright? Bye.